Hi, and welcome to Alexander College Library. Today, we're going to be talking about the different types of resources that you, as students, will come across as you start research for your assignments. We're then going to talk about how to evaluate any resource that you want to bring into your research so that students can feel confident in finding and using relevant and reliable resources. We'll be looking at 6 main types of sources that you may come across during your research. They are scholarly journal articles, books, popular sources like magazine and newspaper articles, encyclopedias, theses and dissertations, and lastly, government documents. Let's start with scholarly journal articles. Academic or scholarly sources are written by and for faculty, researchers, and scholars. That might mean historians, doctors, scientists, or some other expert in a particular topic. These sources serve to keep other experts and those who are interested in the field informed about the most recent research around a topic. Articles are published in journals regularly, often making them the best source in order to find information that is current or up to date. Scholarly journal articles are peer-reviewed, which means that the article has been reviewed by other experts in the field before it is published in a journal. Peer-reviewed sources are also called academic or scholarly sources. When searching for online academic articles using the library database, look for the academic journal symbol beside the source. Scholarly articles will give the author and their credentials. Credentials just mean information on why an author is an expert about a particular topic. It could list the author's job, the author's degrees, or their area of research. Credentials tell us why that author is the best person to write about a topic. Scholarly articles will also include a bibliography or works cited or reference list. This gives the sources that the authors used in their article. If you're not able to see where the author is getting their information from, you should be critical of that resource. Books are useful resources as they can provide background or contextual information on a topic. They will be one of the best places to go when you are just starting your research. They can also help you find keywords. Most academic or scholarly books will be edited by an expert or group of experts. Keep in mind that not all books are scholarly, and you may need to do some digging about who wrote and published a book before you decide to use it in your research. Remember that book publication can take a long time. Books may not always contain the most up-to-date information. Journal articles, like we talked about earlier, usually have much more current information. When searching for an online book in the library, look for this symbol besides the source where it says book or ebook. Popular sources, like a magazine article or newspaper article, can be a good introduction to a topic. These sources are often written by journalists or professional writers for a general audience. They usually do not have a bibliography or references or works cited section. These sources may also contain an argument or an opinion about a topic from the author. Keep in mind that these are not scholarly sources. They are not written by experts, and they are not peer-reviewed. When searching for an online newspaper or magazine article in the library, look for this symbol beside the source. Newspaper or magazine articles are also called periodicals. Encyclopedias give entries about a particular topic. These entries are often summaries, and they're a good place to get an overview on a topic and a great place to find keywords. Often the summaries are short and are meant to be easy to read and understand. While they are considered reliable sources because they are written by experts and often created for academic readers, keep in mind that encyclopedias are often not considered scholarly sources. When searching for your topic using the library website, you may find encyclopedia entries appearing at the top of your search page, like in the image we have here. You will also find theses and dissertations when you start searching the library database. Theses or dissertations are long research papers. They are the result of an individual student's research while in a graduate program. They are written under the guidance and review of an academic committee. For this reason, they may be considered scholarly. However, they are usually not peer-reviewed sources. If you see this symbol next to a resource that you think would be useful for your research, make sure you check with your professor to see if bringing in a thesis or dissertation is acceptable for your assignment. Governments may publish reports, data, statistics, papers, consumer information, meeting minutes, and a lot of other material. Most, if not all of this information, may be available on a government webpage. While information found on a government webpage or in a government document is usually considered a reliable resource, most government websites and documents will not be considered scholarly resources. Now that we've been introduced to some important sources, we'll want to know how to evaluate the resources that we're seeing. We can use these questions to evaluate or check any resource that we want to bring into our research. We first want to ask, who is the author? Do they have academic or professional credentials? What makes them an expert in this topic? We then want to think about, what is the resource saying? Does the information in that resource match with the topic that you've chosen? We then want to ask, when was this information written or reviewed? Meaning, is the information up to date or current? We then want to look at where the information is coming from. Is it based in research? Meaning, can you find a references or a works cited section? And who is this resource written for? Finally, we want to think about why a resource was written. Is there any evidence that this resource might be biased? We will need to think about whether the authors are adding to an academic or scholarly conversation. Please contact the library if you have any questions about finding or evaluating resources. Students can email the library at library@alexandercollege.ca. Students can call the Student Information Line at 604-435-5815. Students can also book a one-on-one research appointment with a library staff member through the WLC under the Library Research Help schedule. Please keep in mind that current library hours are 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Thank you and have a good day.